All right, we are going to move to our next games. There's a there's a tie and fourth place. We're gonna hit one. I'm gonna say them separately. We're gonna hit this one first. It goes back to when Xbox I feel was more competitive. It is an Xbox original game. It was voted on by the Mountain. Put it at number 8. Max put it at 6. Vitamin J put it at 3. Bobby and Josh put it at number 7. It is Halo 2.
I'll start. Well, this one, I like this game. The story was pretty good. I mean, the story's really good. You get to play. I think you get to play as the Orbiter a little bit in this one, if I remember right. So that's pretty cool. But I mean, the main reason I didn't put this high on the list wasn't because of the story, which is good anyways. But it's for the multiplayer, which back in our day we actually played locally in the same room as everyone else. So and I was notorious for screen peeking, and
I knew it. I knew it.
I knew you were.
Oh my god, that's such nostalgia.
I never hit that fact. You knew I was screen peeking.
I did it too, but I sucked at the game, so it didn't matter what I did.
You're a screen
For those
sniping.
newer gamers, imagine like a 32-inch TV at best, split four ways. That's how you do it.
I don't know how we did it because I couldn't do it today.
CRT. That's peak gaming, bros. Peak.
Yeah.
Pull out the CRTs again.
Yeah.
Right. And Halo 2, I think, was the one that introduced dual wielding, so that was nice.
Yeah.
Was that the first one with the laser sword?
Yeah.
Yep, that was a go-to.
Yeah, it's just like everything about that game's iconic. I just have so many good memories of just playing multiplayer of that game. The levels were fantastic. And of course the Halo gameplay. I think Halo peaked probably at the second one. I think that's the peak.
And I would say the vehicles in Halo, I guess the Warhawk can be a little iffy, but most games driving vehicles is a little difficult. But when you're on the Ghost, it's pretty smooth to control that thing, and it's pretty fun when you get to run someone over with that thing too. The Warhawk Ghost or whatever else.
Or hit someone with a sword.
No, I don't know. Is the second one you get that little axe and you blow people? It might be the third one, but you get that axe and you blow people halfway across the level.
Oh, was it axe or a hammer? I can't remember.
I don't know. Either way.
It was the third one, I'm pretty sure. If memory serves.
And I will say the Halo series, no matter which one, I think of all shooting games, the Halo Sniper, as far as snipers go, is my favorite sniper.
Oh yeah, they definitely had the best sniper, and I hate using a sniper.
All the maps are really cool though, too.
Yeah. Yeah, well, my favorite one was probably the simplest one. Is which you had a base on this side, one side of the level, then a base on the other, and you had 2 caves on the side, I think it was. So that's pretty fun, though. Because once you get... how's your voice changed, Jacob? Or
So whose baby is that?
But no, it's fun, because once you get into the base, it's where you get like the heavy duty weapons. So it was just fun, kind of sneaking up behind whoever you're playing against and just stabbing them in the back with the alien sword.
Are you guys gonna play Halo Infinite when that comes out?
Now,
I wish. I don't have an Xbox.
Halo is
Game Pass, yes.
Halo's the only reason I would buy an Xbox.
You can play it on PC now.
Okay, I don't play games on PC.
Okay.
I don't like playing. I know you can play with a controller, but I definitely not playing on keyboard.
PC gamers are also a whole nother level too.
But they're very snobby, aren't they?
Oh hell yeah, we are.
Master Race.
PC Master Race. Represent.
Yeah. All right, so let's move into the other game that was number 4. It was voted on number 1 by Max. It was number 4 by both D3 and the Mountain, and apparently myself and Ian and myself,
Jacob, and Josh did not vote.
Are the only ones with some sense.
Bunch of goose.
Mario 64.
First of all, okay, I would take the reins. Super Mario 64 is the best Mario game, period. I don't care if it's 2D, 3D, whatever. Best Mario game ever. Not only that, even to this day, it still has a huge playing community because it's the probably one of the top speedrun games in the video game world. Because it is that fun to play. The mechanics in the game are so crisp. I probably bought a game I bought an N64, the Wii, the Wii U, and now the Switch. I mean, I'll buy this game until they stop making it. And they need to go ahead and make a remaster with updated graphics because it will make a bajillion dollars. And this isn't just nostalgia talking because I played it in my 20s and I still enjoyed it. And this is good if you're completing because it's only 120 stars. And yes, I've gotten all 120, so yes, I have completed the game. It's better than Mario Odyssey. And I'm sorry that some people don't like it because it's above their playing level. It's just too difficult for you. I understand.
Oh my god.
Ether, you can take it.
Well, honestly, I love the level design of this game. I mean, every level design, I think, it's probably some of the best you've ever seen in a 3D platformer. My favorite is obviously the Halloween kind of horror-inspired one with Boo. You got to tackle a Boo in order to get into it. I thought it was a cool concept. And also the snow level. And pretty much it's just a fun game. I remember playing as a kid, and I kept playing as a teenager and in my 20s. I still get enjoyment of it. There's always new things I figure out that I like about it.
The soundtrack to the game's amazing. Each level has its own unique soundtrack, of course, and I listen to it to this day. It's that good. And damn, what was I gonna say about it? And there's so much to say. I mean, I don't know. I'll probably ramble on forever about it. It's just that good.
Now, to this day, I still struggle with getting Bowser to hit one of those bombs on my first try.
I know what I was gonna say. I was gonna say the TikTok clock level is probably one of the hardest levels in a platform game I've ever played. To this day, it has a very difficult level to get to the top of that thing.
It is difficult.
Now go ahead and answer that, so I don't have to hear you waste my time with this rambling.
One of you all. And you go ahead.
I mean, they got it. I mean, there is some jank with this game. Like, the camera is absolutely atrocious. But it's just a delight. I mean, just the nostalgia alone is really great, which I'm sure you're going to say that's the only reason I like it. But
it's not.
It's not. I mean, it's a genuinely fun game to play. It revolutionized gaming as we know it, especially the 3D platformers.
Bubsy 3D.
What's that?
Nothing.
You say Bubsy? Jesus Christ.
What did you say?
I said Bubsy 3D. I was trolling.
That's what I thought you said. Well, okay. Well, we don't need to hear Phil's opinion on this, so we'll just move on.
Yeah. Just go on, Phil. I gotta hear your asinine.
He's back there. Let me do that bit again. Well,
Phil.
Well, okay, we'll move on. So we don't need to hear Phil's opinion on the game, so we'll move on to the next one on the list. Go ahead and waste our time, Phil.
I'm gonna read you all something.
What?
A wistful or excessive sentimental yearning for return to something or of some past period or irrecoverable condition. That is the definition of nostalgia. You know what you sound like right now? You all sound like, hey, like those old guys that try and say, oh, NBA was best when I was young, or music's so lame nowadays. It's so great. It was better when I was young. Cartoons were so much better when I was young. Here's the thing. It's called nostalgia, all right? It's a lie, all right? NBA wasn't best when we were all young. Kids' cartoons were not the best when we were young. We were young.
Yeah, they were.
All right?
Yeah, they were.
That's why we always think ours are the best, because nostalgia. All right? Maybe it's because cartoons aren't meant for you. This game was lame. It was stupid. It was dumb. Mario,
Wow.
This is the first time you've disappointed me. I played this game. I tried multiple times. When I was young, again when I was a teenager, and I didn't like it either time. It was stupid. All right, you can jump in a picture. Oh wow, so cool! I jump in a picture. It's so fun for us. Come collect stars. It was stupid. Oh, I jump into water and come out, and then all of a sudden I'm fully powered. This was a waste of time to me. It was waste, and maybe it's something with 64 because I didn't like Donkey Kong 64, and I'm a big Donkey Kong fan too. So I will say that it's out, and I think you all got this. I think this game is dumb. I think it's stupid, and I disagree with you.
What he just said about the game is how I think about him.
Oh my god. Okay.
I'm sorry I hurt your feelings because your game
my
sucks.
feelings don't hurt. I mean,
I'm sorry.
I'll play it right now.
Oh, okay, cool. And it's good to waste your money that many times, Max. If you want to give away money to something that sucked, I mean, could have found a lot better things to do.
Was the game too complicated for you?
You could just play
I think it's
Odyssey
because he
again.
couldn't figure out the N64 controller. He thought he needed 3 hands. Well, you really could play it with just 2.
It's okay.
I'm sorry, my bad. I just like more intriguing games that actually
You
have
had
better
Super
cinematic-
Mario World on your list.
That was a better game.
Okay, but you said more intriguing. If Mario World is intriguing, then 64 has been. You know what? I'm not even gonna get into this.
What? What? Whoa, this is so intriguing.
And look,
oh my
and look,
god.
he says
I jump into a picture, so cool. Oh,
It
go,
was- it
go
was-
like 125 stars, so
it's
cool.
120. Thank you.
Oh, right. Wow, wow. Good to know. You
The game-
wasted 12 hours playing that
the
game
game's
to be
goated.
over that.
The game's goaded.
By nobody.
Yes, sir.
Said
Right,
nobody
right.
ever.
Everybody,
Said nobody ever.
but look. I think it's best we move on before we say some things that we regret.
Yeah, we're not there to hold you guys back, hold you apart. So don't be bad.
Coming in at number 2 is there was a tie again. Both of them are post our 21st century games. Both of them we all played pretty much. One of them we probably played on PS3. If you're me, I've also played on PS4 many times. We have coming in with 29 points apiece, The Last of Us, the original one, Part 1, as well as God of War, the most recent one that just came out. So The Last of Us got both myself and Hunter voted it at number 1. Josh voted it at number 8, and Jacob voted it at number 5. God of War was voted on by Jacob at number 1. Max was voted number 5. Mountain was voted at number 3. And D3 was voted at, I think I said D3 was voted at number 8. And Josh voted it at number 9. So I'll hit it. So Last of Us was when I bought like one of the first games I got when I got a I got PS. No, I already had a PS3, but was a game I bought with this PS3. It was really good. I was very surprised. I just kind of played it because I got this PS3 and the game came with it. Story was amazing. Very interesting concept, which I'll let somebody else get into later. Very interesting concept. It is themed off of love. Where I liked it was this different like levels you went to because you start off in Texas, then you went to Boston, then you go to Pittsburgh, then you're in North Dakota, then you go you keep searching all over. You go over a post-apocalyptic America at that point. I enjoyed from just like the first one, it kind of hits you heavy very early in the game. And within the first act, spoiler alert, well, it's been out for a while, Joel's daughter dies. And so it's very interesting to see kind of that change in Joel's character with him and Ellie, because at first he doesn't really want to do this trip with Ellie. He does not really want anything to do with Ellie, but you see steadily as this like father-daughter relationship grows, and especially at the end, you kind of get the payoff from Joel's daughter dying at first and him saving Ellie, kind of just where he's come full circle with that. I think the characters from a standpoint are all good, and all the main characters like add something to the story. There's no like wasted characters in it, which they do very well. Very different. You do have a group Fireflies. The gameplay is it's a pretty hard gameplay. Honestly, I had to like turn the difficulty down from where I usually do, especially my first time playing it. Very hard. There was a couple times where I just ran. Like to beat I just ran. I didn't even try and kill people. I just ran.
Sometimes that's a valid strategy.
Yeah, that's like the best option. I would shoot. I would throw a grenade or something, and then just run and do my best to run, and just hope that I got to the door in time to pass to the next level. So very cool, very awesome. Different kinds of infected. You got lots of infected. You got the bloaters, which. In the second one, they are so much harder to beat. But in the first one, they're still annoying, but not as annoying. Go ahead, somebody else.
I haven't played this game, but I will. The only thing I'll mention from this game is that actually I have played it. I played the multiplayer in this game, which is pretty fun. But one funny thing I just want to note for everyone is that the crouch walking in this game is insane. If anyone's ever tried to crouch walk like these people do in real life, it's not that easy. And
Bro, I mean,
hips and
you still
thighs
have
are.
the leg strength that they do, man.
Look, you can put
The
yourself on camera
flexibility,
right now. Let me see you crouch walk like that, man. With the
bro.
speed
I
that they
got it,
do.
dude. I got it, man. Don't
Nah,
worry
them
about
chicken
that.
legs, man.
Man, what you
Them
talking about, man?
skins.
I've been doing squats, but
That's the only thing I know about the game. I have no idea.
no, but yeah, this game, and vote for it, my favorite. So obviously, clearly, I like it a lot. Um, like I said with Last of Us 2, I like games that are kind of bleak. Um,
It's because you're miserable.
I
It's 'cause you
well,
feel bad.
that probably doesn't hurt. I don't think everything in life's like rainbows and unicorns, and when games kind of have that or have a bleaker vibe, I'm kind of into it. The Last of Us also, it's a zombie game, and that's not entirely unique, but they put a little spin on it, and that's like a fungal infection, which is different. And there's different stages of the infection, which means the enemies will be harder or whatnot. Some of them are stealthier, some of them, if they're been infected for a while, are kind of like tank enemies, and they do other things. And another good thing about this game is that the your AI companion in this one, Ellie, of course you play Joel in this one, is not useless. A bunch of times the AI companion in the games just get in your way. Ellie will save your ass more times than not. And what I do?
No, I said as in yeah.
Oh, okay. I just like this game, and the way it ended, I thought was really good. That Joel, I mean, you could argue. I mean, there's different sides people would take. In my opinion, I don't know. It's tough because it'd be tough for me to have them kill someone who's like a daughter to me. But then again, you have to think about, well, if they can make a vaccine for humanity, they can cure humanity, and then we won't have to worry about these zombies anymore. So, it's kind of a tough decision, and I just like the way they did it. So that's my take on it.
Again, infected, not zombies. Infected.
But I mean,
The little
geez,
thing. It's the little things. It's the little things. Just saying. Infected.
He says I'm obsessed with Mario 64. This dude's obsessed with Last of Us.
Yeah.
well, I mean, it is a great game. In fact, I just beat the first one again not too long ago.
I played it on hard. Yeah, I've done stealthy, fight it, because the where I'm talking about is there one. When Hunter, you remember, and Vitamin G, you remember when you fall down in the hotel on that elevator and you got to go underneath to restore the power? Yeah, when you restore the power and all those things like the bloater, the clickers, and like several other infected run out. Yeah, I just sprint for the door. I tried like 3 times to fight them. Then I was like, crap, just grab the key card, sprint for the door. I'm not even gonna do this. I
also like the world they built through like the notes you pick up. Again, that's not entirely unique. A bunch of games do that, but they did a really good job. Like I remember when you're in the school and it talks about like you find these notes and they're like, oh yeah, man, we have a school down in the sewers and it's great. And then the more notes you read, the worse the situation gets. Like, oh, now the children are infected and now we're the last ones left and blah blah blah. Just it's really interesting.
True. Very, very, very good. Also, I just like how it starts because honestly, your whole trip is because who was it? What was his name? Robert stole your guns. That was legit why you ended up on that trip because Robert stole your guns, and that's where it starts. So it's kind of interesting to take it that far. Oh, favorite level is Billstown. I really do enjoy Billstown.
See that I think that was probably my least favorite level.
Really? I
Yeah.
enjoy Bill.
Yeah, because especially like when you have to. Is that the one where you are in the town and you go to that house and you have to take out the sniper?
No, that's that's at the very end of Pittsburgh. That's
Okay.
after you do the cures.
Then-
Billstown is where you're trying before you get the cards. The one before, after, it's just you and Ellie for the first. Like when you got to go, and it's where you get the bow and arrow, and you have
It has
okay.
it has the graveyard in the high school.
Oh, okay. No, I do like that. I do like that level.
Yeah.
No, my least favorite is the one where they have to take out the sniper.
Oh yeah, I died so many times in that.
Well, I just didn't find it. Like when you have to kill the human enemies, it's not as interesting to me. No, I do like also the and I forget the kid's name, and I'm sorry, but the whole with the black family, I
Oh,
thought that was really neat, and of course,
yeah.
more sadness ensues, but that was really good.
Vitamin J, you got anything?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I really liked it. The story was really good. The gameplay, obviously, since it's a PS3 game, isn't as smooth as Last of Us 2, and I did not care much for like the platform levels since because Ellie couldn't swim, so you had to you put her on the platform and carry her across. I didn't much care for that mechanic. I'm so glad in the second game Ellie learned how to swim. But the story is better in the first game, I would say. I also liked the variations that have infected. I liked how you start off as like, yeah, do you start off as, I can't remember what you start off as. I can't remember the name of it, but then you go to like clicker and then the
Yeah.
loader, and then there's other stages. But I like how it's not just each one's like a different strand. It's a progression of the cordyceps fungus.
True. I did like they did put that like in it. The longer you've been, you actually change. Because I feel a lot of like games like that would be clarified as zombie games. There's like one kind of zombie you play, and it's like no, there'd be different levels based on how long you've been infected, and how it kind of like messes with you. So
Yeah, because then it's like as like you become more and more affected, you lose the sense to see. So that's why they
mhm.
do the the echolocation with the clicking. So I liked it. I like that aspect.
All right. Next game we'll hit God of War. Uh,
I'll go ahead since I've really been and put much on the last one since I haven't played it. But like Hunter was saying with Ellie not being useless in um, Last of Us, I feel like Boy, what was the name besides Boy? I forget his name.
Atreus.
Atreus,
Trace.
that's it. Atreus, he wasn't used. Once you leveled him up, he actually was pretty useful. I spammed his arrows like nobody's
Yeah,
business.
same here.
But so that was good. You didn't have to like, you didn't have to. He wasn't like a waste of time. Also, the customization of the weapons, both the Chaos Blades, Blades of Chaos, and then the axe was pretty good. You could level it up, do different kind of attacks, and then you also had with the gauntlet, you could do different things with that, kind of like Infinity Stones almost, with some of the things in there. But I had never played a God of War game before this one, and I was a bit late playing it, and I only played it because y'all kept bugging me saying, Max, you need to play this, you need to play this, you need to play this. It's like, fine, I'll play it. Yeah, it's a really dang good game. And because the story is just fantastic. I mean, other ones had decent stories, with dealing with the gods of different uh, beliefs and all that. But this one had, I think, a more almost like cinematic story. So that was cool. And then the combat was a lot of fun. And one of the best parts was fighting. That first fight in the beginning of the game when you get to fight Conor McGregor in the beginning because you think it's just going to be some pushover. I thought I was just going to punch a hole through that guy, and then
Nah,
he
bro.
punched me like, oh,
Now, when you fight Baldur and then you're beating him, and then he's like, he like grabs your arm and he's like, I don't feel any of this. I'm like, oh crap. He does like, oh, this is getting real.
yeah. I thought I was going to just flick him.
easy first boss, couple minutes, we're done. No, like
he wasn't playing around. And then his mom gets so angry at you at the end. She's going to be a problem
Yeah.
in that.
I
Yes,
cannot wait for the new one.
They're trying so hard to make me buy a PlayStation with that game and Revan coming back.
Is there
Knights
is there
of
a
the
release
Republic.
date? Is it next year?
I think so.
Yeah,
I think so, yeah. Everything's getting delayed, so I wouldn't be surprised to see it get delayed.
Damn COVID.
I never heard. Why you gotta ruin everything?
true, true. Also, when you play those things, what is it? Those things with like snake-like bodies at the bottom. They have like they disappear. Like there's those things that like they'll appear and disappear. I think they have like black hair. They're
Oh, you
like,
talking about the witches or whatever?
yeah, I remember I have to use a
Yeah.
trail.
Oh,
Because
yeah.
I can't get like
There-
near them at
yeah.
all. You have to use a trace and just dodge the whole time. I'm like, dude,
Yeah, there are
those are
some-
the most.
There were some characters where you just had to keep dodge rolling as as Kratos and then spam Atreus' arrows.
Yeah. I remember the first time you fight or you go towards a witch, you hear it screaming in the background. I'm like, yeah, I don't want to go towards that. I don't want to go over there.
Yeah.
I
All
love
right.
the scene where you get the Blaze of Chaos back and you
Oh,
wrap
so
it
epic.
around.
So
Oh,
epic.
so nice.
Like, if they
It's
can
my
make that
favorite.
trilogy, it would be awesome.
It's my. Did anybody else have it number one besides me?
I had like
Just-
number 3.
No, I had it.
Yeah, you're the only one, number one.
I had it. I had it somewhere in the middle.
To me, it wasn't a debate when you said do a list of best video games. That was instantly my number one. I don't know. I don't think I've ever had as much fun playing a game like the first time through as I did God of War.
It's good. I just haven't finished it. I keep stopping.
There's so much side stuff. I never even finished on the side stuff, and I never will because I'm not doing the
Valkyries.
Valkyries. Yeah, I'm not doing the Valkyries. No way.
Yeah, I don't have time. I don't have time enough in my life to hashtag get good to beat them.
Well, and sometimes when you're a parent and you need to just get to other stuff, this game doesn't have a game journalist mode, so I can't beat it. So.
True.
Well, the next game probably won't either, but no, it's really good. The sequel will probably be amazing as well. Fighting Thor.
I like
and
how
probably Odin.
they switched it, the mythology from the Roman mythology, Roman/Greek mythology to the Nordic mythology. That was kind of interesting.
I'm very interested to see where they go next. A lot of people think Egyptian, but that seems to be the logical way to go. You know.
Unique, because that's pretty cool.
Oh yeah, so good game. We're just gonna hit a couple of the honorable mentions. So we'll hit with number one from Mr. Catan is Guild Wars 2.
All right, so this is, I know Malone here. It's one of my favorite games. My character just turned 9 years old in that game, which is kind of insane. But it's a really, 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 really good MMO. It's so much more better than WoW. They don't have the same controversy as them, which I'm not gonna talk about in this podcast. But they don't have all that kind of drama stuff that like WoW has. There's no monthly fee with this game. And so once you buy it, it's yours for life. There might be a new expansion, but it's going to be the same price as like another game. Be like $50, $60, sometimes less depending on what it is. But yeah, the game is really cool. You have a dodge mechanic that a lot of games have kind of copied. You have 10 skills you can use at any time. There's right now 9 different professions, and you can specialize them in different ways. There's so many collections. There's so many weapons, really cool weapon skins. I'm pretty sure I've spent only probably over the course of 9 years, I'm gonna say $200 in the game. And I think my account's worth $20K, just because of rare items I have in the game, and also just knowing how to manipulate the market a bit, which helps you in the stock market in real life. That's another conversation. But yeah, the game's really really fun. I recommend it. Pretty much everyone only plays one MMO kind of game. But this game I like more than the new Final Fantasy game. They have to pay monthly, by the way. There's like I said, WoW. I just think it blows all those games out of the park, and they do a really good job. They did this feature where I've not seen any other game studios have the balls to do this, where they will have every couple months they give you really good story, and also a new map. And it's oh, you bought the last expansion. You don't have to pay a dime. Just come in and play and enjoy the story. And then you can put the game down, come back in a few months. There's going to be something new for you. So it's you're not, when you play MMOs, I know with WoW, there's a way if you grind enough of the gold, you don't have to keep spending real life money. But then you're pretty much doing a job. So it's that's not how I don't find doing a desk job for my games. I don't think that's fun. I think it's kind of lame. And so it's fun not to have that pressure. And it's hey, I'm gonna go play Dead by Daylight or something else, and I'll come back in a couple months. There's gonna be something new for me. So I could say more, but that's my spiel on it. It's a really good game. Guild Wars 2. Check it out if you like MMOs.
Next one we're gonna hit is one we all enjoyed. We all are probably gonna be excited when some of us also get PS5 and can play the rest more of it. Max and myself are the only ones who voted for it. It is Spider-Man 2018.
Yeah, this is the which is hard for me to say because I love the first two Spider-Man movie games for PlayStation and PlayStation 2. But this one is definitely the best Spider-Man game. Actually, there's been a lot of good Spider-Man games: Web of Shadows, Shattered Dimensions. But this one is the best one. You get a one thing. Like a lot of other games we said with the costumes, you get to have pretty much a ton of different Spider-Man costumes throughout his whole history. Not all of them, but there's like 30 of them, so you have plenty to choose from. But the story is very good in this game. The way they set up in the beginning, if you haven't played it, then don't listen. But you start off, helping out Dr. Otto Octavius, set up his research lab, and then they're researching, a certain thing, and then Norman Osborn is his Otto's partner, or was his partner, and then he kind of screws him over, and you see throughout the whole story, Otto is getting a little more evil throughout the story, and eventually, of course, he becomes Doc Ock. But the way they set that up is really good, and then because that's the climax, him fighting Spider-Man. But the way they set it up was really good. It's that would make a good movie too. The way they did this story.
I liked it. I love the DLC. I bought it. Actually, I started playing it because everybody else kept recommending and saying how good it was, and it's probably one of the last games I played fully through and beat. It was just so enjoyable. I think the costumes were cool. My favorite's the one that when you have the special, you get the little spider drone thing that attached over. That's usually the one I go to. That's one of my go-tos.
Yeah,
I spammed that one. I would spam that one too.
Yeah, the gadgets in this game were pretty amazing.
I felt that was the most useful. There was one that I hated the power. I forgot. It was like rock. I think the rocker one or something.
Yeah, no, I didn't.
Yeah. That was lame.
Yeah, but you get so many different ones. I also there's a lot of side missions. I did those bases of getting the bases. The story with Silver Sable and Hammerhead were really cool. It does peak to you of if they were going to do a sequel. They do hint out who would be next and the second one.
And I'm ready.
Oh yeah, and there was a lot of I like that. Even the stealth stuff I thought was pretty cool. It was a little pain, but I did enjoy the Mary Jane as well as Miles Morales stealth stuff you had to do. I enjoyed it. Also, the ending. Ooh, did not expect it to go there.
The only thing I didn't care much for was the pointless changing the face of Peter Parker.
From PS4 to PS5,
yeah. What was that seemed just like a huge waste of resources to me to do that.
I think they just try to get someone to look more like
Tom Holland,
probably. Which I don't get the point. Why?
It just seemed maybe you could do that for the next game. It just seemed like a pointless waste of resources and time to do that when it really wasn't a big deal.
It was.
Sure.
But they did a good job. They actually had two different main stories going on with was it Mr. Negative? Is that his name?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, Mr. Negative and Doc. They kind of have two separate main stories going on at the same time, so that was kind of fun too. And then, of course, I'm a completionist, so I did all the backpacks, the side missions. I did everything in this game. And there's a lot of Easter eggs, too.
I also highly recommend the Miles Morales game. It's really good. Really good.
I haven't played this since I don't have PS5. But...
Well, you can technically have a PS4, but I would wait till PS5 because the graphics are so beautiful.
Since you still can't get a PS5 these days.
Yeah, thanks.
You still can't? Are you serious?
I'm not paying $900.
Because there's people who will spam buy it and then put it oh, I'm gonna charge you double the price, bro. I'm not. First of all, just in case there's any here, when you spam buy something and you double the price, that's not how it works. It's you spam buy it, then charge it $100 more because nobody's paying double the price.
And if you do pay double the price, you're an idiot.
Also, charging any more money makes you a scumbag. Even if it's $50 or $10.
Yeah, if you spam by, I don't care if it's sneakers, games, or whatever. If you do that crap, I don't like you whatsoever.
Get out of here.
You ruin it for everyone else.
Yeah.
Because there's not enough. There's not enough microchips to go around, all right?
I'm not paying more than retail price for this thing, so I will wait.
Same
with the people that make graphics cards cost more.
Yeah, those I forget what it is, but yeah, those graphic cards people still can't get.
It's the crypto people doing that.
Yeah.
Yeah, thanks.
Oh yeah, it is
people.
because you're data mining or
Yeah,
whatever.
it's like thanks because you're ruining it for the rest of us who need other stuff.
Look, the crypto I get aren't the ones people mine. At least most of them. So
I don't get the whole mining thing. I have no. That doesn't make any
You're
sense to
creating
me,
a
but-
huge number that no one's not gonna ever use, and you're like using it as currency. It's something like that.
I mean, I've read into it, but it's I don't know. It makes no sense to me. I don't know. But I don't mess with the cryptos like some of y'all.
But we're not gonna get.
Yeah, no, we're not going to talk about it because some of these people in here were talking about
You
it all
sure?
day.
I can get into it. I
Blow
can
up
get
my
into it.
phone with that. Got to put it on silent because I don't care that much. We're gonna hit one more game. It's Mr. Catan put it his second favorite game, Oricon. What was it?
Ocarina of Time.
Okay. There you go.
All right. I will say this came out a year after Mario 64, but the reason why I never played that game, and I didn't have a GameCube. I didn't have a GameCube at the time, or
64.
older, or 64 at the time. I mean,
Right.
it's but the thing is, I went back and played Ocarina of Time because it's a timeless classic. It came out a year after 64, and I think Mario 64 is a good game. I've not played it, but I've seen a lot of it, and I've seen a lot of people like try out bugs, and like they love that game. Like when you're going and trying your best to find bugs, that's a fan base that loves the game. But I digress. But Ocarina of Time, I went back and played that game because I'm a huge Zelda fan. You know, there's a lot of great Zelda games. I mean, the newest game, Breath of the Wild, is phenomenal. I love Twilight Princess. I love the handheld games. Link to the Past is a great handheld Zelda game. But Ocarina of Time is like where it kind of all started. Like even Nintendo made a timeline for the Zelda games because people kept asking, when would this game come out? Because they're obviously tied together. And Ocarina of Time is like the game that branches it in 3 different timelines. So it becomes kind of like, I don't know, Doctor Who or the new Loki stuff. Or there's 3 different timelines that happen based off of Ocarina of Time. One is Link defeats Ganon. And when you defeat Ganon, you go back and Zelda's like, go back and relive your childhood. And so you go back in time and you're a kid again because when you pick up the Master Sword, he has to become the hero of time, and so he goes forward 7 years personally for himself to become an adult. And so when you beat the game as an adult, Zelda's like, go back, relive your childhood. And so it creates 2 different parallel worlds because you have the world where Link goes back in time and he lives his childhood, and he tells the king, Ganon's got to take over, don't let him, he stops Ganon's plans. So you have that timeline. You also have the timeline where Zelda is an adult and there's no Link. And so that's another timeline for other games that branch off from that. And Ganondorf in that timeline comes back, and because there's no Link to face him, he kind of just takes over and they have to flood the whole world, and Wind Waker happens. And there's a third timeline. I won't go too far into this. But there's a third timeline where Link just straight up dies. And so Ganon takes over and stuff happens. Like most of the older games, like the first Zelda and stuff like that, those games happen in like a dark timeline. And so Ocarina of Time is the basis for everything that kind of happens in the whole Legend of Zelda series because Nintendo knew this game is hell important. Not to mention it kind of revolutionized like 3D gaming. Like I said, Mario did this a bit, 64 did this a bit. But Ocarina of Time really paved the way for like an adventure story, person with a sword, that type of game. The game is beautiful. The story is phenomenal. Every single part of it, like you can play the game right now. They remade it I think 3 years ago. The game still holds up today. It plays past the trial of time, hence the name. He's a hero of time, and so it has to be up there. It's such a anyone could enjoy that game. It's really good.
All right, cool. All right, now we're gonna go to our number 1 game. Number 1 game came out. I think we were in high school or college. Played it. We played it on PS3.
Yeah.
It is one of our favorite, It's one of our favorite comic book characters. It is Arkham City.
Oh yeah.
It was voted on. D3 voted number 1. Both Max and Vitamin J voted number 2. I voted at number 5, and the Mountain voted at number 6 with 39 points, surpassing the rest by the second place by 10 points. I'll let Vitamin J and Max go first on this one.
So this is my favorite of the Arkham series, by a decent amount because you actually got into like a open world city environment. Arkham Asylum, you were kind of just limited to certain area, basically Arkham Asylum, but it was kind of open world-ish, but you were limited to certain like set pieces. But Arkham City really opened it up, and the combat system got a lot better. More the combat system's always good. It's always what do you call it? Pretty. It flows well. Um, I can't remember what studio does it. Rocksteady.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
I really like their combat system. It took some risk. The story was really good. I liked at the end, and this is again spoiler, but it's not a spoiler because you should have played the game by now, so it doesn't matter. Joker dies, and I was hoping that this game would be the last you see of Joker, but then Arkham Knight kind of undoes the whole thing, and you see Joker in your vision, so that kind of just takes the whole punch away. But at the time, it was a pretty big deal.
They'll never do a Batman game without Joker.
No, that was
Even Arkham Origins, you think you'd
even
fight-
yeah, even Arkham Origins, you're fighting Black Mask, and then no, it turns out it's Joker.
So. But this one, like I said, with Spider-Man, you get the Easter eggs and all that stuff. This one did it even more. I did every single Riddler trophy because it was cool to find like all the different connections to different Batman things throughout history, whether it be comics, TV shows, or just random things throughout the Batman's lore. So that was really cool, and I like doing that. But the story itself was pretty cool. It was cool to find out later after you beat it. Like if you had went back to the beginning of the game and did your Batman scan on the Joker, you would find out he has no bones because the whole time you played the game is not really the Joker. It was Clayface pretending to be the Joker because the Joker is dying because he injected himself with the Titan serum or whatever it was called from the first game. So he was not doing too well throughout the majority of Arkham City. But I did a good job with everything, and also you think the main villain is gonna be Hugo Strange, and then they do a pretty good I don't know if you call it a twist, but a reveal saying that he wasn't really the main bad guy. It was Ra's al Ghul who was pulling the strings, and you didn't really there were no really signs that was coming, so I didn't really expect that. And
Next time you're talking about, they call him Raish.
Yeah,
I know, I know, I'm sure that's correct, but I'm always gonna call him Roz.
I know, because the animated series.
Yeah, I know. I don't know. Roz sounds better than Raish.
And also the best boss fight, one of the best boss fights game in history, the Mr. Freeze fight.
Oh yeah,
Yes.
really good.
Yes, yeah. I also like the Solo and Grundy. Most of the boss fights weren't too bad actually, but I think then I also had some DLC for that one, I think, and that was pretty fun. But
Yeah, I liked it because it took basically. If you haven't played Arkham Asylum, that one's one that a lot of us really enjoyed. It took Arkham Asylum and just made it better. It took all the good parts and made it better. The criticisms I would have had of Asylum was like all the boss battles were pretty much the same. But then they switched it up for this one. You beat bosses in different. You beat them in different ways. They expanded, like Vitamin J said. Instead of you're just in the asylum, you now have the whole city. Now you have the whole city, and now there's more just to see. You have the different Batman villains that are in it. Two-Face, Penguin, Riddler's in this again, but the different territories they like are over, which was a really cool. Mad Hatter's also in it, and what you have that dude, the guy who follows you with a sword. I forgot what his name was.
Azrael.
Yeah, him. He's in it. So there was a lot of like really cool Bane part with Bane. Mr. Freeze was definitely like probably the best boss fight, my favorite boss fight, because you have to use a lot of strategy to beat him. And kind of the different things. And now you can go into buildings. You have you have just very different strategical ways of beating each boss. What's his Solomon Grundy's also in it.
you do Ra's al Ghul.
Yeah, Ra's al Ghul. So I just enjoyed it I thought it was just like I kind of find it like a parallel to like the movies that were coming out at the time of The Dark Knight. Like the first one's good, but the second one just takes the first one but makes it so much better. and so like all the stuff you had a little issues with, it like goes in and just like improves upon it. So very good game. I mean the whole thing. I think Arkham Knight, Asylum, and City were all good. Origins was not made by Rockstar.
Right.
Yeah, it was made by
Yeah,
somebody.
it was Warner Brothers Studios, I believe.
And it wasn't as good, so.
It wasn't really, yeah, it was definitely a failure in that. But otherwise, great game. Very fun to do. I did like, you can get the propulsion, so like when you zipped, you can zip faster in the air and then go like, so I love the gliding through everything. So.
And then you get to play as Catwoman a little bit, so
Yeah.
if you like that, then.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, and her combat similar,
separate
she's different moves, but yeah, she messes some people up.
I've always wanted to play as Catwoman. I'm just kidding.
I bet you have.
Just kidding.
Mountain, you got anything?
Not really. I mean, y'all guys said everything I was gonna say. So
All right. You had something, Max?
Oh no.
All right, so that concludes our top 10 video games list. Just to repeat, tied at number 10 was Super Mario Odyssey and Horizon Zero Dawn. Number 9 was Super Smash Bros. Ultimate. Number 8 was Last of Us Part 2. Number 7, Pokemon Silver/Gold. Number 6, Super Mario World. Number 4, tied at number 4 was Halo 2 and Mario 64. Tied at number 4. Tied at number 2 was God of War and The Last of Us, and number 1 was Arkham City. So thank you all. Are there some games you think that we left off the list? Are there some disagreements? Maybe you're like me and you actually have some sense and don't like Mario 64. Or are there some games that you wish we did? Maybe there's a Mario game we didn't put up here that you're like, hey, you didn't name this Mario game. Let us know in the comments. Please comment, subscribe. Let us know if there's anything you want us to talk about or just any comments you might have about the show. Please, because like nobody ever comments. Like it'd be great.
We have a fan. We got one.
Yeah.
Please put in the comments and tell them how you went out put up for this Mario 64 slander. But other than that, you can follow us at Core Discussions on Twitter, and we're also at Core Discussions on Facebook.
All right. So my name's Lexi. I'm the host moderator. Follow me at @wisdom_legacy.
I'm
Name's
Ian.
Max, yep. Go ahead, Ian.
Sorry. I'm Ian Catan, and my channel is Ian Lesbian. And another great game we like to play is Dead by Daylight. I sometimes record and put it on my channel. Jacob also, Vitamin J also streams that game. So if you ever want to see us play that game, it's a lot of fun. We win every single time, so it's pretty creative.
But yeah, I'll go. Yep, you can find me on Twitch, Vitamin J, or Twitter, Vitamin J91. Again, mostly streaming Dead by Daylight, but also stream other games at times. Get the daily dish you need the most.
and I'm Hunter. I don't really have social media because it was a mistake. So
We should make them start, not end it.
Yeah, seriously. This guy. Oh, you forgot to.
social media is the bane of humanity.
Okay. All
We
right.
needed Hunter for the show.
All right. Thank you so much. Remember, our episodes drop every Monday. If you forget, there are reminders on Tuesday to remember, like, subscribe, notifications, follow us on Twitter, and just let us know if you have any comments or any topics you want us to hit on in the future. Again, topics like movies, sports, TVs, trivias. We're not talking politics on this channel. We are not talking about global warming on this channel because, again, we're not the guys you should go to ever for that. So, but otherwise, we can let us know, and maybe we'll switch it up, and maybe we'll do a story about something we used to do. I don't know, a story of how we met or something. All right, thank you all, and Ian, hit that music.
Go ahead and try to stop me if you're able, but inside you know my justice is unstable. I can tell it's talking silly full of rejects. That's why you play entomology with insects.